Alright, welcome back to Operation Tirpitz. This is going to be January 1940. This is the Italian turn. Um, a few bits of housekeeping. Two transports of the British moved from Gibraltar to Lower Egypt, and a destroyer from A-17 is moving into A-5 to cut off my German transport. All right, so the tech rolls have once again been done off screen. Rolled a 7, which is narrowly a hit. So airborne doctrine is at 3 levels for the Italians. For the buys, I'm using all 11 of my IPPs, buying 1 transport plane and 1 airborne. And 8 plus 3 is 11. All right. Combat moves. I am declaring war on Commonwealth this turn, which means America's income goes up by 5. Right. So, from M3 in port to M8, I'm combat moving all of my ships except for transport and a TB destroyer into M8 with a seaplane and 1 coastal submarine joining in that screening action. Raiding in M8 is going to be the remainder of my Italian submarines, so 2 coastal submarines and 1 regular submarine. They're moving into M8 and raiding. From northern Italy, an infantry and an artillery are boarding the transport and attacking Malta. And the TB destroyer is joining them as, I guess, a screening force. Also from northern Italy, the remainder of my artillery and my mountain infantry and cavalry are attacking western Yugoslavia with a tactical bomber from Sardinia. And lastly, from Tobruk and Cyrenaica, all of my infantry and motorized infantry are attacking western Egypt with both fighters from Sardinia, which have enough movement to get there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and enough to land. And the last thing I'm going to declare is the medium bomber from Eritrea is bombing the dockyard in Lower Egypt that houses all of the British fleet. Okay, that's all of my combats declared, so let's just get to rolling for them. The first thing I'm going to do is bomb the dockyard. So that's 1d6 of damage on the dockyard, and 1 hit 3 of AAA rolled against the bomber. It missed, so the bomber gets to fly home. It does 1d6 of damage. 4 damage. Okay, excellent. Okay. On bombing this port, 3 ships are able to eject themselves from the port, scramble out of port into M8. I have already spoken to Subscullion. He has chosen to keep all of his ships in port instead of scrambling out. So there's not going to be any combat in M8. And let's roll for the submarines. The rating. So the left die is going to be my submarine, and the right die is going to be the convoy. The first is going to be a coastal sub, so I roll at a +1. No damage. Second coastal sub, 1 damage. And the other submarine. No damage. Unfortunate. So 1 damage is done to the Mediterranean line, and 1 damage is taken from the British. That's not right. I'll have to adjust the banks in a moment. Okay, next combat is going to be Western Egypt. I'm attacking with 4 infantry that attack at 1 in the desert and 2 aircraft versus 3 infantry and a militia. Infantry and a militia versus 3 infantry, a motorized infantry, 2 fighters. 2 hits for the defenders, no hits for the attackers. I'm just going to retreat. Into Tobruk. That's unfortunate. Alright, and let's do Western Yugoslavia. 2 defenses at 2, 2 defenses at 4. 4 attacks at 2, 2 attacks at 3. And 3 artillery get first strike. Alright, let's roll. 2 hits for the defenders, 1 hit for the attackers. Good lord. Okay, the cavalry is taking a hit. The militia is getting hit for the Yugoslavians. And I'm also going to take a hit on artillery. And I'm going to press. I did get a target select, so an infantry is dead. Other than that, no hits. Press. 1 more hit for the defenders, and the combat is cleared. I'm going to take the hit on artillery. Alright. And I forgot to declare, one of the infantry from Eritrea is taking Nubia for free. So the British actually don't lose any income this turn. They lost Nubia, but gained Eastern Yugoslavia. So their income remains unchanged, but Italy's goes up 3. 2 for Western Yugoslavia and 1 for Nubia. Um, and for non-combat movements, my tactical bomber from Western Yugoslavia is flying to Northern Italy. My transport planes from Eritrea and Cyrenaica are flying to Northern Italy. And oh, I forgot to roll for Malta. So there's one defender and one attacker on round one with no terrain penalties. Actually hit, so round one, Malta's cleared and captured. Alright, excellent. And there's going to be no other non-combat movements. So we'll move into the placement phase. Both units that I'm building have to be placed in Northern Italy. There's no other factory. During this phase, I would like to declare that my TB destroyer and transport are going in port in Malta. Um, During this time, the Yugoslavian military becomes British. One militia, one infantry, and one cavalry. Excellent. Okay. And also a TB destroyer. Also, the Romanians have gone German, so these two ships should be German as well. That's a TB destroyer and a destroyer. Um, and lastly, I'm going to collect income. My income is now at 13, and none of my bonuses are complete, so it's just going to be that. Oop. There we go. And that should be that turn complete. So passing it off to Deathlist for the KMT and American turn.